Well, the beautiful season is here. Dropping kids to school, picking them to school, going for visitations, looking for school fees, pocket money, and all that. The back to school period is right now. And guess what? That is the reason we came up with an amazing topic of preparing our children for a successful year or a successful school term. It's very, very important to always learn together, especially when it comes to educating and preparing our children for school. Welcome to the Family Hour here at Church of Uganda Family TV. My beautiful name is Claire Bwenje, the world's favorite host. Today I have a great couple. They are here to discuss and share with us their different experience of how they have been able to prepare their 4 children when it comes to going to school. And join me welcome Mr. Derek and Joanne Kwagala. They are here to share with us amazing things when it comes to this topic. Let me welcome them, but don't forget that this show is in partnership with Life Ministry Uganda. You can check them out on the website or social media platforms, and this show comes to you Monday to Friday under different themes. Right now we are here under the theme of parenting. Join me welcome the great guests right now. You're welcome, and I'm very happy to have you on this show.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Kwagala. Hello, Mrs. Kwagala.
Hello, Claire.
Say hello to
Claire.
the viewer, and then the show will continue.
Hello, our viewers.
Hello, our viewers. Good evening and praise the Lord. It's good to be with you on this show today.
Wow, we are very happy to have you on the show, and of course, even before we go deep into preparing our children for a new and successful year, would love to know how have you actually been able to, raise the 4 children, and how have you been able to prepare them for school and things like that? Who goes first?
I would love my wife to go first.
Okay.
Well, yes, thank you. I know that preparing a child for school does not just start at school, it actually starts from home, because the first place of school is home. And so for your child to thrive at school, they should have certain things put in place right from home. So the preparation starts at home and then it transitions to school. Of course, that is parenting now. So you have to prepare your child in such a way that when they go to school, they are able, because they are representing you as a family. So when they go to school, they should be able to represent you well. So the parenting has to happen here in the background at home first.
Wow, I really love that when you say that it actually starts from home. So when you talk about, maybe we would love a bit of clarity when it comes to that. In what areas at home do you prepare your children in?
First of all, I would say that as a Christian parent, definitely the first thing is to know God for the children. So at the different levels before they go to school, they should know the Lord. And that they will learn from you as a parent, because our children learn from what we do and not necessarily what we say, but what they see us doing. But apart from that, there are basic things that help us in life, whether a parent is Christian or not Christian. There are those basic principles like greeting people, socializing, treating people, those key words, I'm sorry, please, please forgive me, those basic, yes, the magic words. They should be taught at home, so that when the child goes to school, they're just exercising what they have learned from home. Yes, because the teachers will find it very easy if the parent has already done some kind of work, background work here. other than expecting our teachers to do magic with our children, and yet we haven't done our part.
Wow. Thank you very much. And I will get back to, I'll get you, Mr. Kwagala. Please, would you please, as a father really, please share your experience. How has it been, you preparing the 4 children to go to school, and how have you also been preparing yourself as a parent? Because I know it begins with us as parents, just like Joanne said.
Yes.
Children look at us and then they imitate.
Yes. Personally, I love training the children in skills, even in the holiday as we prepare for the school year. Because at the end of the day, we take them to school so they can acquire skills which they can use in the marketplace. So I keep looking at how am I tickling with their brains, so the reason and be able to work with the world. Well, I have the advantage now that they are still young, and I can engage their brains in some things to prepare them. So some of the ways, okay, key, as a parent, I also need to first make sure that I have the tuition because of the time. I'm busy working, but I would want to pass on skills to my children, but there is another person who is well skilled to aid me to pass on the skills I prefer to my children while I'm working. So, and that person needs to be paid. So one of the key things, how I prepare myself, is to plan for their tuition. So these skills are actually passed on to my children. The other way, like I mentioned, I want them to be have inquisitive minds. So like recently, we did some chess. I took them to the chess chess school so they can learn how to play in that maze, and it's a journey to learn chess, and can keep learning. But I need their minds to light up some bulbs. So that's part of the things that I'm doing is exposing them and trying to get their brains to work through problems. Yeah.
Wow, I really love that, and I love that you're actually now engaging their minds with games and what. So does that mean they don't hold phones? Because now, you know, some parents now, it's a season when they give their children phones to keep them busy. So I don't know about you, maybe. Do they have phones to keep them busy, or strictly it's a game and, you know?
Interesting question. So it's critical in this day and age. The world is super fast. We are privileged in Uganda here. We still have a certain pace where we can try and control what our children consume, or how knowledge is shared, passed on to our children. So on many occasions, I have games on the phone. Actually, the children install the games on my phone and their mother's phone. So as we find the games are there, but it's one of the ways we try to tickle the brain, so it can be able to execute as much amount of work. Okay, it depends on the age, but gaming, that's an interesting subject. We can talk about it and maybe, but it's within education. It's helpful, but in a limited way. You limit a certain way, because sometimes you can have children who are never focused, always hyper. But we try to, like the chess, the game is installed on my phone and I have a chessboard at home as well. Then for the little ones, there are some games they play. Some of them are sound, but this also helps them to, depends on the game you are playing. We are Christians, so we hardly do temple run. I saw people doing temple run, but we always uninstall it. But in the subject of educating and preparing our children, there are games for sounds, there are games for numbers. Actually, Bulamu usually says, "Daddy, I'm going to play numbers." So I can give her the phone. But in educating the child and passing on and preparing her, you see that she knows my value. That I'm going to value a number game.
They know us well.
Exactly. Tukwebaza knows my value. That if she wants my phone, she'll say, Daddy, I'm going to play chess. But a couple of times, I also try to regulate. But the key thing is passing on knowledge and skills, preparing my children for the academic year, more so for life. Yeah. That's, yes, we do give them phones.
I love that, but and I appreciate that actually you give them for academic reasons. Maybe they are doing the numbers, like you said, chess. Okay, another question will be for another time. Let me pick it up from you, Joan. Now, some kids have already gone back to school. They are in boarding and all that. How would you really, as you, how would you involve yourself into the life of your child even when they have gone back to school? How can you be a part of that journey at school? Not really, because sometimes we hear teachers complaining, parents put their children there and they just leave teachers to parent. So how would you really participate in the life of your child even when they are far away from you?
Well, good question, because I have one in boarding school.
I love that.
And then the 3 in this school. But how we involve ourselves in our son's life is, one, when we are taking him, we drive with him, and then sometimes we have like a send-off kind of ceremony of sorts with him. We do a nice meal that he wants, and then we talk with him. But the talking doesn't just start there. It's like a continuation of what we have already started. And so we talk with him, even all through as we go, we keep conversing and, asking him about what are his expectations, what are some of his goals, and things like that. And then at school, we usually have a meeting with the school administration, but also the teachers in particular. And so we talk to them and ask them what are the challenges that you have faced with our child. Then how can we do better this particular term or this year, and things like that. So we also have opened ourselves to open lines, like the teachers can call us for anything concerning our son, but he can also call us concerning anything. So he usually calls us for maybe updates, and we can also call for, like, if we have a question. Okay, in particular, for example, our son is part of the worship team at school, and so they send us a YouTube link. So sometimes we don't watch it in real time, because that's also our time of going to church and things like that, but we watch it later and we are able to evaluate how did he do, what was the environment like, and things like that, because we are also training him. He's gifted in singing, so we are training him to be a worshiper, and so then we are able to give feedback both to the teachers and also him. So many times we do not wait for him to come back to school. When we have a concern or something that we have observed, we will call the teacher who is concerned and then give our feedback, and they will also let us know. So our involvement in the school, in our child's school, particularly our boarding son's school, is by having open lines and being involved. And then we also have a school program. They gave us an opportunity, we thank God, that every so often they bring them back home, but also they invite us to go to school and interact with the teachers and know how our children are faring on in case there are any disciplinary issues. So we are not just in the blink of, children can surprise you, even when you think you know them.
They know themselves better.
Yes, they do. And then it can be disturbing for your child to, like, they tell you your child did this and you're like, no, my child can't do that. But they can. They are capable of doing that because they are human. But when you keep in touch with the teachers and they know that this parent is present, they will give you feedback freely. Yes, so we involve ourselves as much as possible, and if we have an opportunity to go to the school, even if it is outside of those days where it's open for every parent, we go there. Yes.
Wow. Now, Joan, really, I really love that you go an extra mile to to find out how is my son doing, how are they doing academically, co-curricular. So I really appreciate that. But this also poses a question, and maybe here, Derek, you will answer it. In this busy schedule, like really, you're looking for school fees, you're really up and about, up country, some maybe on the farm and stuff like that. How are you really able, amidst this busy schedule, but you're able to create time for the children, even at school, and even those that are in the school? Are you able to have time, check their books and stuff like that?
Wow. Wow. It's been a while, though. I ought to confess. It's been a while checking their books and their materials. But when I get the chance to do so, I especially times where the school has given us a schedule that this is we need the parents to come, then I put it in my program and I go there. Especially on those particular days where we are needed at the school. For the boarding student learner, I've been thinking, because he's a teenager, so in order to pass on and check his academia, I've planned, this is a plan, that every Friday morning we go and engage them in entrepreneurial training. Already one of the parents is doing it, so I'll be supporting them to go to the school and be a support to passing on knowledge and skills, while also checking with the academia, because at the end of the day, this academia needs to be focused. From our experience, we all know that when it's not focused, you end up in a gray later in life. So whereas there is desire for the academic excellency, and I keep checking on his work, I also need to see that the relevancy of the academia in the daily life. So that's the more reason why I'm going to be going there every Friday in the morning.
Yeah.
So as to check on these particular interests of mine, that I'm raising the child to all the other children as well, to be relevant in the changing world. So that's my plan, because within my schedule I've planned it. Within my schedule, in a day's school appointments, I've planned them actually, the days which I've been notified. Yeah, that's my current state.
Wow, and I really love that, and I appreciate that you are intentional at seeing that you raise someone that is relevant. I mean, that's key, because these are the future bosses, these are the future husbands, these are the future everything. So it's really important for us as parents to raise people value and relevance. I really appreciate that. Well, still on preparing children for a successful year, I would really love us to hint on the vacists, especially senior fours, who are about to receive their results. And I know right now it's a time when everyone is having butterflies. But as parents, I would love you to really encourage someone out there, because I know some are already saying, what if I fail? They're going to make me sit, stop school. And parents are like, if you don't pass, I'm also tired of paying for nothing. What's your take as parents on that? Maybe Joan, you can go first, and then Mr. Kwagala will go after you.
Yeah, well, we don't have a vacist. But I would think that as parents, we need to know our children. We need to create time and understand them. Gone are the days when we used to be raised, or when we were raised as, there was no relationship between a parent and a child. The only thing that you knew about your parent was provision. And then every time they would come home, it would be like kawanangos, as the Baganda say. Especially for the fathers, children would just run away. And then for the mothers, you're so busy, with a lot of work, and then there is no personal relationship with the child. But I believe that if you have built a relationship with your child, they should be able to tell you that, Mommy, this is what happened in the exams, this is what I expect. And then also you encouraging them, because their failure or their success does not make them less or more of a child to you. They are already your child. Even if they have failed, they are still your child. And then it is your responsibility for you to encourage your child. Because this child, even if they become a failure in life, that is you. It's going to be your burden the rest of your life. So you're better off carrying your burden at this stage, and in this case, carrying the burden of the child if you think they are not really good academically. But some of these children are actually bright. It's the environment that has made it hard for them to perform according to the standard that we expect. And so I would think that let's create time for our children and ask them, but also prepare them for anything that comes. You're still my child. I love you. I will accept you no matter the performance. When that time comes and the exams are out and probably you haven't performed as we expected, as we wanted, we will find a way and still support you as our child. And so the basic thing here, the baseline is you love your child and you will stand to support them. Yes.
Wow. I love that, and I really love that. But I'll give Mr. Pagal a chance and then to just react to that. What's your mind on that?
Truthfully, my wife has shared the whole baseline for this. We strongly desire that our children are academically excellent, with a goal in mind. When there's maybe a deficiency in results, or a financial deficiency as a family, my strong desire for the parent, do not give up first on your child, and also do not give up on yourself. The investments we do in the children, they are indeed their investments, and they are not regrettable. And learn the child also. Seek out what they desire. Don't give up on the child, please. Keep exposing them. Expose them to as much as you are able to expose them, so they can see the world and try and pick interest in some things probably which you have exposed them to. Other times they are God-given gifts. God has blessed the children with talents which will will thrive and prosper your family. So seek out your child. Don't give up on them. I know in our culture here in Uganda, everything is academic excellency. And the good thing you're talking about, the academic here. So which is critically important, and the goal of the academic excellency is to produce a wholesome human being who can face the challenges of this world. So please, parent, don't give up on the child, and where you are able, always do the very best so they can excel in this treasurable life. Yeah.
Wow. I really appreciate that, and I'm very excited that you have brought it out so well. This is not actually the end of life, and I know really it's a lot that usually happens when results come out opposite. I just have 2 minutes and then we go for a break, and maybe Joanne, I'll pose this question to you now. Of course, this is also yet another season where they are going to be making decisions of, I am now going to do a combination of sciences or arts. But then as parents, we always have a desire of, my child must be a scientist, my child must be an arts. So what's your mind on that? Do we let our children do what they feel they want to do, or do we really help our children to do what we feel they should do? In just a few, and then
interesting.
Yes.
One thing that that we have to know as parents is that we give birth to these children, but then they are not dumb. They have brains. God has given them ability to think, much as their thinking has to be directed. They also have desires. You know, you can ask a child and they tell you, I want to be an engineer. Sometimes they don't know exactly what it means, but they have a little hint of it. And then as they keep growing, they get the knowledge of what exactly it entails as they are guided at school, as you guide them as also as a parent. So I would think that depending on the level of the child, that we engage them and ask them, what do you want to be? I want to be this. What do you think this person that you want to be does? Or why do you want to be this? And so the child's reasoning you will be able to relate with and also be able to guide them accordingly. I believe that your involvement in their life helps you to understand them better and guide them better. So it is a two-way thing. Sometimes a child is just open and blink, but sometimes they actually have a point. So it's important for us to weigh between what the child wants and then what do I want for my child, what do I see in my child, and then what do they also desire as children, so that you have a blend of that. And then as you pray for these children, and the Lord will keep on, showing you signs, this person, is walking towards this direction, walking towards this direction. So I would think that it is a two-way balance.
Wow. Well, I really love that. And Mr. Kwagala, I'll get to you after the break. Dear viewer, let's take a quick break. We'll show returns in a bit. Please don't change the station. We are back in a few.